So Apple has officially announced a September event. Obviously, we're expecting iPhone 16, the new Apple Watch, and also new AirPods. But let's delve into some previous rumors regarding this event in today's video. Beginning with a rumor from China, apparently iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max will support 40-watt wired and 20-watt MagSafe charging, which would be quite the upgrade. Right now, the iPhone 15 and 15 Pro support up to 27 watts peak charging speeds with the right power adapter, whilst the MagSafe chargers and compatible third parties can wirelessly charge the 15 models up to 15 watts. Officially, all iPhone 15 models can charge up to 50% in around 30 minutes with a 20-watt higher power adapter, which by the way is the same as the iPhone 13 and 14 models, so we are very much due for an upgrade in this department, and we could be getting that with the Pro models, and surprisingly not the regular models. Anyways, according to IT Home, we're seeing a boost with the wired and wireless charging speeds this year because Apple wants to balance and improve the problem of increasing charging time caused by the increase in battery capacity. Now that gets me tingling, guys, because what they're essentially saying is that Apple's giving us batteries that are so much larger, it will likely mean they're no longer able to reach 50% in 30 minutes with the current charging speeds, so they're forced to increase the wattage. This is awesome news because I don't care about fast charging. I usually plug my phone on a wireless pad throughout the day, and so really my big takeaway from this report is that we have another source suggesting bigger batteries. I like bigger batteries and I cannot lie. You know what else I would like, guys? If you subscribe to the channel, of course, it's free and would bring you the latest about Apple right to your subscription box, so please consider it. It would be appreciated. Join the Saranbyte gang now. Anyways, if you're wondering about the battery capacities, we have actually heard a lot about this from other sources, and if there's smoke, there's usually fire. I think that's a saying, but basically what I'm trying to say is that all of a sudden all these leakers are grouping together and telling us about larger batteries, so it's gotta be true, right? The last time leakers all came together on something was the Square Apple Watch, which didn't come to fruition. But anyways, glossing over that, I'm really hoping this turns out to be true, but take it with a grain of salt. Now, what's also awesome is that allegedly these won't be regular batteries. Apple won't settle for that because they want to give us the creme de la creme of batteries. And so with iPhone 16, we're getting fancy stack technology, which not only helps increase the capacity, but you also get a longer lifespan, which is another very nice bonus. Apple did recently announce the 15 series do have longer lasting batteries, and so if the 16 can improve upon those, and I can now have a battery that doesn't drop to 90% health within the first year of using it, that would be perfect. You're probably wondering though, what are the actual battery capacities? Well, let's get into the nitty gritty details because courtesy of Twitter leaker Majin Buu, we actually got some numbers for iPhone 16 earlier this year, and beginning with the bog standard iPhone 16, this will get a 3,561 mAh battery allegedly, and obviously that's just a bunch of numbers without comparison, so for those curious, the 15 right now has a 3,349 mAh battery, so the 16 offers a respectable 6% larger battery. Solid! Now what does this mean for real life usage? How many more hours of endurance are we actually getting here? Well, if you compare the jump from iPhone 12 to 13, which of course was the last time the iPhone got a major boost in battery life, the regular 13 had a near 15% increase in battery capacity over the 12, and that resulted in 2.5 more hours of endurance, according to Apple's marketing. So using my big brain, with iPhone 16's capacity being 6%, I'm gonna guess battery life could be 1 or 1.5 more hours better, which isn't as impressive, yes, but remember there is a chance with the regular phones jumping to the snazzy new 3nm process, we could see further endurance gains. It is weird though that despite the larger batteries in the regular phones as well, they're not getting the faster charging allegedly. I guess Apple would do anything to get you to spend $1,000 on the fancy Pros. And let's talk about the regular Pro. This should have a 3,577 mAh battery. The 15 Pro has a 3,274 mAh battery. So breaking news, guys, you won't believe this, but for the first time ever, the regular Pro has a bigger battery than the regular iPhone. You probably don't care about this, but I'm going to tell you guys anyway. Now, I would expect 1.5 hours to 2 hours longer endurance because of the larger battery and also the additional efficiency upgrades of the A18 Pro. And moving to the chunk boy, aka the iPhone 16 Pro Max, this will have a 4,747 mAh battery, which is around 5% larger than the 15 Pro Max's 4,422 mAh battery. So it's a decent increase, not as big as the charging speed rumors were suggesting, but it should still result in 1 hour to 1.5 more hours of endurance, which is always appreciated. But life doesn't always give you great news, and the 5 people out there still using the Plus, allegedly there is bad news for you guys because the 16 Plus apparently is getting a smaller battery than the 15 Plus. Yes, you heard me right, I said smaller. The phone is not decreasing in size, it's still 6.7 inches, but for some reason, the battery is now 4006 mAh, which is 9% smaller than the 4383 mAh battery in the 15 Plus right now. I know that sounds odd and you might be a little skeptical, but to be honest, I can see a reason why Apple's doing this. And that reason is money. You see, this year a lot of battery test reports and even Apple in their marketing has made it clear the 15 Plus offers the best endurance in the range. And so there is a possibility some consumers go for the Plus over the more expensive Pro Max with the juicier profit margins. And Tim's not going to be happy about that, obviously. He wants you to spend $1,200 on the fancy Pro Max. And Apple's lineup really is this perfect ladder which pushes you towards buying the highest end products. And so I could totally see them butchering the 16 Plus on purpose just to get you to buy the 16 Pro Max. Moving on, let's talk about iPhone shipments. Wow, what an exciting topic, right? But jokes aside, this actually is a little interesting. Essentially, Apple wants to ship a minimum of 19 million iPhone 16 models in 2024 according to Bloomberg. Apple's telling their suppliers and partners they're aiming for a 10% shipment growth over 2023, when they shipped approximately 81 million iPhone 15 models. Now, why is Apple so confident in iPhone 16? Isn't it just the same iPhone but with a fancy button on the side? Well, unlike the iPhone 14 and 15 where only the highest end model had the newest chipset, we are finally going back to the good old days of the non-Pro phones also getting the latest SoC. How generous of Apple! Now, Apple's actually not doing this out of generosity, they're doing this because Apple Intelligence is now a thing. As of right now, only iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max support Apple's new AI features, and so anyone with an older iPhone, even the iPhone 15 that came out less than a year ago, has to upgrade this year to take advantage of the new features. And so there's going to be many people upgrading to these iPhone 16 models just to test out the new AI features. And so Apple is going to happily sell you one of the iPhone 16s to make your creepy AI emojis. Now I just want to say guys, I saw this coming from a mile away, and I made a video regarding this previously. AI is the #1 thing in tech right now. It's what everyone is waffling on about. AI, and so it just makes sense for Apple to ride this hype wave and just double down on AI for iPhone 16. I mean, Samsung's Galaxy S24 series has been more popular than the S23s, despite being a small refresh, and that's because the marketing has been focused around Galaxy AI and how it enriches our lives. And so Apple's going to do the same with iPhone 16. They're going to tell you that you can't live without Apple Intelligence, and we need Apple Intelligence to take over our lives and monitor us 24/7. Now, which Apple Intelligence features are gonna be popular? Well, for one guys, I know many have been hating on the Genmojis and the AI generated pictures, which I do admit look a little creepy, and is definitely gonna be haunting you in your nightmares. But these kind of gimmicks are fun at the end of the day, and I'm sure many are going to be wanting to use these desperately with their friends and families. But obviously, looking at the larger picture, Apple Intelligence is all about Siri being slightly less dumb and actually understanding you without having to excessively elaborate. I think if what Apple showed us does end up true, and Siri does actually work like magic now, this will be a game changer. Obviously, I do want to mention the Siri revamp might not be ready for quite some time and might not even be available in key countries and continents like China and Europe immediately, but I'm sure they'll resolve things by September so that when, of course, everyone gets hands-on with iPhone 16, we get to taste some of that sweet, sweet Apple Intelligence action, baby. Especially with China being a massive market for Apple, I'm sure they're going to be partnering up with a company real soon, just like they have for ChatGPT for the rest of the world, and the AI upgrades to Apple's core applications should definitely be ready by the time iPhone 16 releases. So yes, I'm excited guys. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and thank you for watching.